Hello, today what we'll have a look at is just using the Netlab solution which the Staffordshire University's got. This gives you remote access to a lot of our equipment 24/7. All you need to do is have a web browser. In our case we'll use IE, Internet Explorer, which I'll just start opening up now, and Java installed. The web address for our solution is netlab.staffs.ac.uk. If you open that up, and just open it to full screen, you should already have an account for this with some of your classes. So for example, those guys are doing CCNP root with us, or some doing the security, the account should be set up. If they're not, please let us know and we will sort those accounts out for you. So all we need to do is log in. Now in our case we've got a test account which is set up just so we can see it running, and it looks exactly the same as the way you will see this software. Clicked login. We don't want to store our password, and if it's the first time you've logged in, obviously in my case it's not the first time, but if it is the first time it's logged in, you will get a series of prompts asking you to check whether you've got the right version of Java. From experience myself, just click update later. It doesn't appear to make any difference whether you're using the latest version. You've just literally downloaded it. It still brings up the message saying it's an old version of Java, so just click update later for it. It will also carry out a remote firewall test for you to make sure you've got access to the firewall to get access to our Netlab solution. Again, click on start this test, and it just takes a few seconds. You'll see a Java screen coming up. Any of the Java prompts come up, just accept, run, on. Now, once we've got this, we're into this screen here, which gives us the ability to schedule ourselves to use equipment. Now in our particular case, you'll see here, I've only got one class which is available to me, which is CCNP root, and I want to reserve this lab for myself. I'm a member of Team A, as we can see across here. The truth is you can actually put yourselves into teams, which means that if you schedule for your team, all of your team, so maybe 4 friends, 2 friends, could work exactly the same time. One person can be working on router 1, one person can be working on router 2, and you bring it all together for us. In my case, friendless, I will just go for reserved time for myself. So, we've then got set up all of the different setups you actually need there for us, or all of different where they apply some basic configuration for you. Personally, I never use those, and I never really see a point for it, because the idea is you want to learn here. You don't want stuff to be pre-configured. It's nice to type things in yourself and actually see how things are actually working. So in my case, I always select the router pod default topology, which makes the most sense. Like I said, for that, once I've clicked it, as you can see on the screen now, I'm going to tell it what time I want this equipment for, so I'll just select that I want it now, and then at which point I will get access to the particular pod we're interested in. Now on here you'll see initial configuration, and we've got restore configs, so that's the last time that we use this equipment. I can restore the configs back, so I didn't finish my work, I can continue working where I previously started off from. That's all stored in our Netlab server. In my case, again, I'll be honest, I find it much easier to go for no configs loaded. All I literally do, if I want to continue working from something I did previously, is the same as I would have done on live equipment. I simply copy the configs out, put them into Notepad, save them elsewhere. Next time I want to come into the equipment and make use of it again, I paste it back in again. Like I said, it gives a much better real-world sort of feel for what you're actually doing for it. But if you need to, you can restore configs. I just never do it. It also takes a lot longer to reload the routers. So, click OK. Accepted this one. I've got a reservation. Now, because I set it up to do a reservation exactly the same time as I'm working with it now, it's available to me, and it tells me here from 10:38, which is time now, through till 12 o'clock. So I want to now enter the lab and make use of that equipment for us. Right, what you see here is the topology with all the equipment in. For this topology, like the default, almost everything you're doing inside your tutorials, or things you want to do yourself, you want to get to the point where people feel so confident they can actually generate their own tutorials, start working on stuff, change things, set up summary addresses, see what actually the results are for these ones. But anyway, in this topology, you've got access to router 1, 2, 3, and router 4. If you don't need one of those in the particular instance you're working on, plain and simple, you don't need this connection across the bottom. So for example, I've got the tutorials which we're using at this particular moment in time, which is the root ones that we're doing at the moment. So some of you have done this exercise, you're on the root class at the minute, but for those who haven't, I'll just put it onto the screen so you can see it. If you look at this, we've got exactly the same topology, router 1, 2 and 3 for us, but there's no link between router 1 and 3. But on here, obviously there is. Plain and simple, just don't turn it on. That's it basically, at which point you've now got exactly the same topology to work with. Again, in our topology on this particular example, we don't have router 4. Just don't turn on these links. They're not on by default for us. Now at the moment, when we have a look at this, you can see in the top left hand corner, initializing, which just basically means Netlab's got control of these routers, R1, 2, 3 and 4, and is currently just configuring them, trying to get them actually ready for you to use. If I click on one of these routers, so in my case I'll click on router 1, it's firing up the CLI terminal for us. Again, I did say earlier, you do get some prompts from Java, just click on run. Which point now we can see this is still loading. If you enter a few times, it is still waiting for us to actually operate. So it does take a little bit of time. Like I said, it is live equipment, it's not equipment which we've got set up. So I don't know, the example would be packet tracer as an example, where you click on that, no matter what equipment you click on, you can usually count to about 5, most to 10, and that equipment will be available to you. Here we're loading and setting up live equipment for it. So if I just click on R2, here we can see self-decompressing the image, it is live equipment for you. R1, again that one's now controlling, so again things coming from us. Open up R3 as well, so you can see what's actually going on at this moment in time. All the things we've actually got built into this, so just while we're waiting for the equipment to actually load in for us, is things like we've got the action tab. Now in the action tab, if we cause ourselves problems, like I said, for us, we can actually adjust things. So on here we've got a number of options taking place. Scrub the device, sort of completely erase everything off the device, start again, so you've made a complete mess of it. Only the equivalent of typing write, erase and reload. This will do for you automatically for us. Password recovery, if you lock yourself out. Power the device off, turn it back on again some later stage, or power recycle, which will just turn it back on again. We can apply that to all of the devices, or we can just pick the individual device that we want to actually achieve those ones with for us. Status just tells us what we've actually got. Like I said, at the minute we can see 3 and 4, it's reported back as normal. R1 has been initialized, R2 is still being booted. Let me just see. The other thing we can do is here is if we want to save our configurations, like I said, don't do it myself, but I can understand how people want to. You can actually just set up and save all your configurations. So we'll just set them up, call them Justin, and save everything from these ones. It just means that later on we can go back in and reload these back in again. So for example, we want to store, and we've got no way of writing this off to somewhere else. I don't know, we're in the lab, we haven't got a memory stick, and we haven't got any way of saving the information. Okay, then we can just have the Netlab server itself save it and then reload it back in, and again that's unique to just you. It's not a case that someone else will actually get to see these ones for us. So on this, it tells me that R3 is operational, which R3 is this one here for us. We can see across the bottom there is the prompt from R3, and again, to show we're on live kit, you've got all the command set that you would normally have off the live equipment. There's nothing which is sort of different about this equipment in the slightest bit for us. I don't know if we just change the host name to R3, just so we can see a command actually operating there for us. You can write mem, write erase, tell it to reload. It is exactly the same as it would be if you were working on the equipment up in the labs for us. So let's just see if we've got access to R1 yet. R2 is working, that's operational. R1 is still waiting for it basically. So what we can do is, on this particular example, we can set up R2 and R3 rather than waiting for R1 to actually become operational. Well, for us, just to save a bit of time, I'm to do the exercise which we had a look at, which is the let me see what we've got on here for us. Actually, we could just put some static roots on there for us basically. So we've got the static roots here, which, sorry, not static roots, RIP next generation, which is what was going on here for us. We'll just apply those. So the RIP next generation, we'll put these interfaces onto R2, turn on RIP next generation, apply it on here, and then at which point we should see the information flowing across these links for us. So I'll just move this off the screen just so I can get it at the same time. So if I go to R2, which is this device here for us, we'll just turn on IP version 6, like I said, just so we can see something actually operating in for us. So that's now turned on. Int loop 10 IPv6 address. Oh, help if I spelled int correctly. So 2001 db8.cafe -10 :1/64. It's done. So we now do the same for 11. Should make it easy just to use the up arrow, exactly the same as we would on live equipment for us. And then 12. Oops. And we've got those addresses working. Do show by int brief to see that we've got those addresses actually allocated, which we have. That's great. We now need to adjust the serial interface to give that an address. Again, we'll choose the same addresses which is on here, 2001 on db8 feed 1 : give this one 2, this one 1. Again, I'll take it off the screen just so we can see something. Int serial 1 IP version 6 address 2001 db8 fd 1 2/64. That's fine, and we'll do the same on R3, the opposite end for us. Choose that one there for us. Let's first of all turn on IP version 6 addressing. Int serial 001 IPv6 address 2001 db8 1/64. Shut. Great. Okay, that's fine. So this one's the thing. Now shut. Great. That's it. There we go. So we should be able to now ping the other end, which is, one second, ping 2001 db8 feed. And we've got complete success there for us. Right, so now what we need to do is turn on the RIP next generation. So we can see RIP working, which was that first exercise we actually did there for us. So again, if I go back to that serial interface, serial 01, wasn't it? Yeah. V6 router RIP. We'll be clever and just call it Justin. Okay. Oops. Look at that. V6 router. Okay, go to the interface. Get there in the end. That's the problem with doing live demonstrations. We'll do exactly the same on the other device for us. So, that was it. So we now need to do it on the loopbacks. show IPv6 protocols. See that it's working, and we can also see on here which interface it's actually been configured for. Again on here, show IPv6 protocols. Oops. Again. So it's only working for the serial one. Show IPv6 route. And at which point we can now see on here that we've got the RIP routes which have been learnt from the loopbacks which are on R2. So if I bring the diagram onto the screen for us. There we go. So it's now learnt about those routes. On R2 it won't learn anything because it's only learning the one route which is from here, and the truth is that's already being picked up as a connected, therefore that will beat the administrative distance which comes from RIP for us. The idea for this is just literally to show you, give you some idea of how to actually grab information from this, see Netlab working. So again, I want to make a backup of this configuration, so I'm so proud that it's actually run there for us. Actually, I tell you what we'll use, we'll do the term len 0, make life a bit easier for us. Show run. Just literally grab the configuration exactly the same as you would do working out the other equipment for us, and then at which point click on copy, and we can then copy that across to Notepad, so we've got a permanent backup of it. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Like I said, please use Netlab, it's a really useful resource for us. Thank you. Any questions, please do ask.